In section 3, we're going to look at kind of 3 different topics here. Operations, function operations, composition of functions, and then inverses of functions. So in 3A, we're going to look at function operations. So you're going to be given a couple functions and then be asked to do some type of operation with them. So let's look at number 1 here. Let's actually focus in on number 1. And notice number 1, and you got to kind of understand notations. We're given function g of n is equal to 4n plus 1, and h of n is equal to n plus 4. And we want to find g plus h of n. That means I'm going to take g of n and add function, h of n right here. All right, let's make this a little bit wider here. So I'm going to take g plus h. So function g is 4n plus 1. And then I'm going to add function h, which is n plus 4. So I end up with 4 terms. There's my 4 terms. I'm going to just combine like terms. So 4n plus n is 5n. And then positive 1 plus 4 is plus 5. So there is g plus h of n. Now, you don't have to factor out a 5 or do any of that stuff. We're just going to leave it in non-factored form. Okay, let's go down to 3. If we look at 3, I'm given function f and function g, and we are doing a dot means multiplication. So I'm going to take f of g, and I'm going to multiply times, I do f of n, and I'm going to multiply it times g of n. Now, these are both binomials, so f of n is n cubed minus 3n, and I'm going to multiply it times g of n, which is 2n plus 5. So I'm going to distribute, and that would be 2n to the 4th. I distribute the n cubed to the 5, so plus 5n cubed. And then I take negative 3n times 2n, which is negative 6n squared. And then negative 3 times 5, which is negative 15. Now, sometimes you combine like terms, but if we look here, these 4 terms, none of them are like terms, and that's as far as we can go. Go down to number 11. So now I have subtraction. So then I'm going to take h of x and I'm going to subtract g of x. So h of x is x squared minus 3x. Now I'm going to subtract g of x. G of x is a binomial, so it's subtract. And because it has more than one term, we have to put it in parentheses. Very key here, and where we see a lot of mistakes. Because now you end up distributing that opposite sign through. So it's x squared minus 3x minus 2x and plus 5, distributing that opposite or that negative 1 through. Now we combine like terms. My x term's in the middle. So it's x squared minus 5x and plus 5. And let's do a division one. So 15 will be the next one we look at. Oops. So let's go down to 15 here. And this is the notation then for division. I'm going to take g of n and I'm going to divide it by f of n. So g of n is 2n plus 2. I'm going to divide that by n squared minus 1. And this looks very much like rational expressions that we do. And now you want to see if you can factor and simplify or reduce if possible after you write division. So on the top I can take out a 2 and I'll be left with n plus 1. The bottom is a difference of 2 squares, factors into n plus 1, n minus 1. So this one does reduce, my n plus 1's cancel, and I get 2 over n minus 1.